Jai Hind to all. Myself Manoj Kumar Sharma, Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department, Akgec Engineering College. Today we will discuss a topic of software engineering subjects, prototype model and spiral model. These two models basically belong to software development life cycles. First one is prototype model. Prototype model, it is a way of developing software where an early phases on early version or prototype of the products. If customer need a software development in early phases, so we use the prototype model for developing the prototype for customer satisfactions. So prototype model is a way of developing software where an early versions or prototype of the product is created and shared with users for customers feedback. Okay, so this is the basic architecture of prototype models. These portions basically belong to the prototype developments, and these portions basically belong to the iterative developments. So first phase is requirement gathering. Second phase, quick designing. Requirement gathering, basically developer teams collect the requirements from various methods like conduct the interviews, like conduct the workshops, like provide the questionnaires. So we can collect the requirements through various methods, functional requirements and non-functional requirements. After collecting the requirements, we need to use all requirements those are given by the customers. We have to design the prototype models, means follow the quick design process. Second, build up prototypes according to the customer requirements. Then after customer evaluations of prototypes, after completion of prototype model, dummy models, dummy of softwares, customer basically evaluate them and provide the feedbacks, provide the process of softwares and software applications to the developer teams. Then if we have collect the customers feedback and customers are not satisfied according to the requirements, according to the initial phases requirements, we have to refine requirements and incorporating customer suggestions. So this is the cyclic process. Okay, so quick designing, build prototype and dummy models, and this prototype and dummy model provided to the customers, and after evaluation of customers, we have to enhance the productivity of prototypes, update the prototype according to the requirements, and again design the prototype and again build a prototype and provide it to the customers. This cycle is continuously in a process till the customer satisfaction. If customer are satisfied on this phase, customer evaluation and prototype, then we have to compute and follow these phases for developing the softwares. After providing the customer satisfactions, designing phase will be started, coding phases, testing phases and maintenance phases. So this is the basic architectures and basic model phase wise for prototype models. Now it is basically it show the cyclic structures. In previous slides we see the quick designing, build prototypes, customer evaluations and refinement of the requirements. So this process basically here, customer feedbacks used for developing and refining prototypes, this used for testing and prototype by the customers, and again after refinement we need to provide the customers feedback, and again this process is continuously going on. So in this models, a prototype of the end product is first developed and tested and refined as per customer feedback repeatedly till a final acceptance prototype is achieved, which form the basis for developing the final products. Now this is the basic introduction of the prototype models. The prototype model is one of the most popular used software development lifecycle models. This model basically used when the customer do not know about the software requirements, exactly project requirements beforehand. So we have to use the prototype models, because uh, before starting the final phases of SDLC life cycles, we have to design the dummy projects, and those dummy projects provided to the customers for customer feedback. If customer satisfied, then we have to use the final product designing process. So in this process model, the system is partially implemented before or during the analysis phase, thereby allowing the customers to see the products early in the life cycle models. The process starts by interviewing the customers, developing the customers, meeting with the customers on high level paper models. So this is the basic introduction of the prototype model. Now these are the some phases basically used in the prototype model. First one is requirement gathering and analysis. We have a different methods for requirement gathering and analysis. We have to conduct the workshops, we have to conduct the interviews for development team and customers, we have to provide the questionnaires, we have to use the one-to-one meetings. So requirement analysis is the first step in developing phases in prototype model. During the phases, the system we desire are precisely defined. During the methods, system users are interviewed and determine what they want, what they expect from the systems. So this is the first phase of the prototype model or any software development lifecycle model, requirement gathering and analysis. After completion of requirement gathering, we have to use the second phase is quick designing. The second phase could consist of a preliminary design or a quick design. During this stage, the system basic design is formed, basic structures is designed. However, it is not a complete design and final design. Basically, it provides the user with a quick overview of the systems. The rapid design aids in the development of the prototypes. So this is the basic motive of the quick design phases. Third phase is build a prototype. After completing the quick design process and complete the overall basic architecture of the softwares, we have to use the build a prototype models. During this stage, an actual prototype is intended to support a knowledge gained from the quick design process. It is a small low level working model of the design systems. Now fourth phase of the prototype model is initial user evaluations. After completion of build a prototype models, we have to provide the quick model and dummy model to the customers for a customer's feedback and satisfaction. The proposed system is presented to the preliminary testing. At this stage, it is a beneficial to investigation of performance of the model, beneficial to investigate the strength of the model and find the weakness. Customer feedback basically it provides the suggestions, gathering and collecting the feedbacks and forward to the developer teams. So this is the evaluation process through the customers and development teams. Now fifth phase is refining prototype. If the user is dissatisfied with the current prototype model, so we have to enhance the models according to the customer requirements. You may want to improve the types that responds to the user feedbacks and suggestions. The user is satisfied with the upgraded models and final system based on the approved type is created. Now sixth phase and stage is implemented product and maintenance. The final system was fully tested and distributed to provide after it was developed to support the original versions. After completion of customer evaluations, if customer are satisfied, then we have to design, we have to use the all SDLC phases like designing, coding, testing and maintenance. These are the some advantages of the prototype models. First advantages, the customer get to see the partial product in early in the life cycles. We can see and we can check the software models in early phases of the software development cycles. Second is new requirements can be easily embedded because of the prototype models. We have adopt the all customers feedback and requirements according to the evolutions. Missing many functionalities can be easily figured out because we have to collect the prototype model in the early phases of the SDLCs. Errors can be detected much earlier, thereby saving a lot of efforts and cost, and we can enhancing the quality of the softwares. Now, errors can be detected much earlier, thereby saving a lot of efforts. Developed prototype can be reused by the developer teams and complicated projects in the future works. We have a flexibility in the designs because we have to design the quick prototype models in the initial phases. So, this model is flexible according to the phases. Early feedback from customers and stakeholders can help guide to development process and ensure that project meet all the requirements that are decided in the initial phase and SRS documentation, software requirement specifications. We have some disadvantages in prototype models. Cost concerning time as well as monies. If customers are not satisfied, then those cycles are continuously working process till the satisfaction of the customers. So time consuming and costly. Because of customers interaction is maximum in the prototype models. They may too much variation in the requirements each time the prototype is evaluated by the customers. Poor documentations due to continuously changing the requirements, continuously enhancing the prototype models. It is very difficult for developers to accommodate all the changing demanding by the customers. Now, the second software development model is SDLC model is spiral models. Basically, first we discuss the basic introductions and basic tagline of spiral model. Basically, it is a combination of iterative waterfall model and prototype model. It is a combination of iterative waterfall model and plus prototype model. The most important features of this model is that even after the project start, it has the ability to manage and mitigate unknown risk. Hence, it is advisable to use this model for large and complex and huge software development life cycles. This model basically have a 4 stages. First one is planning, second is risk analysis, third is engineering phase, and last is review phase. So we discuss all the phases one by one. This is the basic architecture of the spiral models. First phase is determining object and find the alternative solutions and constraints. Second, evaluate alternatives, identify and resolve risk, and also design the prototype model Okay. And third phase is develop and verify next level products. And final and last phase is plan for next phases. So this is the basic structures and architecture of spiral models. So first phase basically determine the objectives and alternative and constraints. According to the software development life cycles, we have first phase is requirement gathering and analysis. In the spiral models, collect the requirements, determine the objectives, and find the alternative solutions and constraints in the first phase of the spiral models. And second phase, evaluate alternatives, identify and resolve the risk, and also create the prototype models and dummy models. In the first slides, we say it is a combination of iterative waterfall model and prototype models, because iterative waterfall model basically show the feedback facility provided in the iterative waterfall model. So we have a feedback facility available. This is the first cycle. After completion of first cycle, if customers provide the some issues in the software development life cycle, so we have to use the second life cycles. We have to use the third life cycle until the completion of software are meet all requirements according to the customers. Those are decided in the software requirement specifications. And second is prototype model. In the second phase, we use the prototype 1, prototype 2, prototype 3 and so on. So it is a combination of prototype model and iterative waterfall model. In the third phase, after completion of prototype model, we have to use the software requirements, requirement validations, product designing, coding, unit testing, integration testing, acceptance testing and service testing. So this is the basic SDLC phases belong in the third phase, that is called development, verify and lag stable products. After completion of third phase and customers are satisfied, then we have to deploy in the markets. If customers are not satisfied according to these development phase, so fourth phase basically provide plan for next phase. It means enhance the productivity, enhance the scalability, enhance the efficiency of the software and provide it to the first phase. For again, those processes are continuously working in the life cycles. So this is the basic architecture of spiral models. Now we have to discuss the all phases in the spiral models. Basically, it is focus as on managing the risk. Multiple iterations available of the software development process, and each phase of the spiral models divided into the 4 quadrants. Now, first phase is objective definitions, determine the alternative solutions. So, first point and objective of objective definition is find the projective goal, requirement and identifies. Functional and non-functional requirement collectively in the first phase, and possible alternative solution and explored. Second is risk analysis and resolutions. Risk related to the cost, schedule and time, performance and technology are identified in the second phase. And find the best solutions is selected, prototypes are built to reduce the risk. And third phase is development and testing. Basically, selected features and designing, develop and test it. The next working version provided to the software is created. And fourth is review and planning. Customers evaluate the current versions, feedback is collected and planning for the next iteration begins. Now these are the some advantages of the spiral model. First advantage is effective risk handling. Because of we have to use the alternative solutions in the initial phases. If we have any risk, if we have any issues, if we have any fault, so we have to find the alternative solutions in the initial phases of spiral models. So identify and resolve the risk at every phase, making it ideal for projects and high uncertainty. Second advantage is suitable for large projects. If we develop a large and huge scale projects, so we have to use the spiral model because best suited for large complex software. So software life cycles and spiral models used for huge scale and complex softwares. Flexibility requirements. It allow the changes according to the customer's feedback, and it allow the requirements even at later stage in the development phases. We have to collect the customer's feedback in the early phases. Iteration and iterative development process are also available in the spiral models. Better communication with the customers in the development teams and customers. High software qualities are available through this spiral model. Some have a disadvantage of the spiral models. It is very complex to manage due to multiple iterations are available and continuously risk analysis. So we have to manage all the documentations, So it provides the complexities, high cost. We have to use the first iteration, we have to use the second iteration. So if, if we are using the more and more iteration, then it increase the cost of the software developments. Depend heavily on risk analysis. Difficult to estimate the time because of the time fully depend on the customer satisfactions. It's time consuming and resource intensive. These are the some disadvantages of the spiral model. So in the today lectures, we have discussed the two software development lifecycle models. First one is prototype model and second one is spiral. Thank you very much.